Hello everyone, it's Noah from Glitchmaker YGO, and today I have Danger Dark World. Um, I got this deck because I purchased 3 of the Dark World structure deck, and because most of that deck has everything you need for Danger Dark World, minus like miscellaneous cards like, a full extra deck, which you can just buy. It's fairly cheap, minus like a few cards like Axis Code Talker and Danger Nessie. You can get away with Boral Sword, but Nessie you kind of need to play at least one of. But I'm going to get into the deck profile. I play 3 Ginta. You want to see gates, but you don't want to like open gates most of the time. 3 Rainbow. Non-once per turn, you can, if he's discarded, you're just going to add a level 5 or higher Dark World monster from deck to hand. One of those targets is Grapha Dragonlord. You mainly use him for Dark World Accession and for making rank 8s in this deck. He's also pretty good for extension because he throws back your Dark Worlds on the field to hand. So does he. Graphic can send any Dark World monster from field to hand to summon himself from grave. Rainbow has to be level 7 or lower. But both can give you more extenders just for playing the deck. 3 Snow. You do want to see this quite often, because it searches out any Dark World card from deck to hand when it's discarded. I play 3 Brow. He is a draw 1 if he's discarded, or if he is discarded by an opponent's card effect, which you can do with something like Surly. You draw 2 instead, but that doesn't happen very often. Double Silva. The main goal with Silva is to summon it 2 or 3 times as an extender, but make sure that your combo is ended with it in hand so you can activate Grapha Dragon Overlord to change your opponent's effect to make you discard this. He's going to summon himself and hand rip your opponent for 2 because it was technically discarded by an opponent's card effect. I play Double Beige as just an extender because, and he does come in clutch sometimes. I don't own Coach King Giant Trainer, so I play Gaga Cowboy. If you have Giant Trainer, you do want to play that. It's basically a draw 3 if you get 3 level 8s on board. It's a draw 3, and for every monster you draw, you inflict 800. This deck is primarily monsters. One Surly, I don't play the hand loop variant because I just feel like I could brick on Surly too much, and those hand loop variants play 2 to 3. I only like playing 1 because I find myself to only want to have him in hand if I've already established full combo, and he's just a win more card at the end of the day. Dangers, we got Double Nessie if it's discarded. Danger effects, typically you reveal it and your opponent picks one and it's discarded. If the discarded card is not danger, whatever you revealed, then you get to summon it and draw 1. But they all have an additional effect if they're discarded by any means. Nessie adds a danger from deck to hand. Play Double Mothman because when he's discarded, both players draw 1, discard 1, which sometimes can allow you to do really wacky stuff in time when you have Gaga Cowboy in your extra, but that's about it. I play Double Bigfoot. This is the only super big one that I play 2 of that isn't Nessie, because he is slightly better when you're going second because he can pop a card when he's discarded, and he's slightly better in corner cases where you need to swing over something with him, which is really helpful sometimes. 1 Chupacabra summons a danger from grave. 1 Thunderbird sets up a trap. You don't want to see that hardly ever. One Tsuchinoko, it summons itself if it's discarded, so you're still getting the extension. And Jackalope summons a danger from deck. I play one copy of Salamander Catalyzer. You reveal a fiend in hand, then you can either discard this or the fiend you revealed to summon the other one. Most likely you're summoning this one, and it can be really busted if you open like a copy of Snow or Rainbow. One Blackwing Zephyros. You bounce a face-up card you control to hand, summon it, and take 400. But it's only there because it's just a really decent extender. It is a once per duel effect. I don't play 3 gates, I play 2 because I find myself to brick on it quite often, even at 2, because I'll also open Ginta. And I don't want to open like Gates, Ginta, and then 2 other cards that I would need like something other to make work. Double Accession, you don't want to open it all the time. Sometimes you do. Most of the time you want to either draw into it or search it off of Snow. I like to try to activate it as soon as possible, so at the end of my combo, I can add it to my hand and discard something, like a beige, so I can get another extension, and I just set the accession, so if my entire board does get outed, they still have to deal with another one of this guy, because it is a quick play. Single Archives, you don't want to see it all the time, but sometimes it's really good, and if you do see it, it comes in very clutch. And Triple Allure of Darkness, this is just draw power. Consistency, you just get to draw 2, banish a dark. Which, if you're banishing Ginta, you get to summon him back anyway, which is still pretty good. Extra deck, I play 2 Grapha. He does a whole lot of stuff. You're gonna have to read this card for yourself, because if I told you, you would not believe me. A copy of IP Masquerena, Dark the Dark Charmer, Gloomy, and Nightmare Phoenix. Pop a spell, trap, interruption, and going second if your opponent's playing a dark focused deck, which most likely, even if it's not dark focused, they'll still like play a dark monster. A single copy of Nightmare Unicorn is summoned off of IP. This isn't the only IP Masquerena target I play. For Link 4s, I play Saryuja. You always make him with 4 materials. You get to draw 4 and bottom 3. He's a free special summon, and he can also make this guy bigger if you summon him first. One Apollosa, you almost always make that with 4 materials. And a copy of Access Code for OTKs. You can play Borrelsword too. It's just, I don't find myself needing to do 3k through like multiple hits. Because I already have like multiple big beaters anyway. And a copy of Underworld Goddess. Underworld Goddess Jump Scare. Allows you to do some wacky stuff with IP. Use your opponent's monster to link summon a huge monster. Can completely screw your opponent over depending on the deck. For Xyz monsters that play Cowboy, play Giant Trainer over one of the rank 4s if you can get it. Cards like $10-15, despite it being almost exclusively low rarity. Number 41, Baguska. Sometimes you can make it, and it's just devastating. Dweller, this is a flex spot. If you're playing against a graveyard deck and you're going first, you make this and you kind of just screw them over. Sanafun, I just play it because it's funny. You can also play Coach King Giant Trainer over that. I play it because it's really funny, because sometimes I can just sit on it multiple turns and it'll be like a 4k defender and my opponent just can't do anything about it. And a copy of Hope Harbinger. probably not going to make this very often. You don't make your rank 8s very often at all. But when you do, you've already got full combo. So, some of my choices may seem a little weird. Like, I don't play Muckraker from the Underworld. It's because I don't like it. It just doesn't really do much for me. I'd rather focus on trying to get big monsters on board that my opponent can't beat over. Like, this. You know, my opponent's going to have a hard time getting rid of those. And my typical inboard is a 4 Material Apollosa, a IP Masquerena, a Grapha Dragon Overlord, and a copy of Silva in hand to discard with him, so I can hand rep my opponent for 2. And there's a good solid chance I'm also going to have that set. So even if my opponent miraculously somehow breaks this, they still have to deal with Grapha number 2. And then they just kind of lose at that point. There are some other cards I don't play because I don't really have them or see a need for them. World Sea Dragons Atlantis is a card I don't have, and I don't play it because I don't really feel a need for it anymore. If you do want to play, you can just take out Dweller or something. You could take out Dweller, you could take out Dark, you could take out Sanafon. There's a few things you could take out. But that is my Danger Dark World list. I hope y'all enjoyed. I will see you guys next time.